Welcome to A Meaningful Marketplace.
I'm Sarah Masoni from Oregon State University's Food Innovation Center, where I've helped countless dreamers launch their new food products. It's the science of taking a food delight from the kitchen to mass manufacturing and still keeping its great taste. That's what I do. I've been called the woman with the $1 million palate, although I haven't tried to cash that check yet. Listen in weekly for real-life stories.
I'm Sarah Marhall, owner of Marshall's Hot Sauce and author of Preservation Pantry, modern canning from root to top and stem to core. I love inspiring business owners to get started on their journeys, encouraging folks to be part of their local community, and I'm excited to help business owners tell their stories. Join us as we explore the journeys of women entrepreneurs in the food and beverage industry. Hello and welcome to Masoni and Marshall, the Meaningful Marketplace. We are here weekly to discuss the journeys of food entrepreneurs. We're glad you've joined us today as we bring you stories of hope and inspiration. This is Sarah Marhall, owner of Marshall's Hot Sauce.
And Sarah Masoni of Oregon State University's Food Innovation Center. Hi, Sarah Marhall.
Hey, Sarah Masoni. It is good to see you. I have been deep in food events this week. I know you've seen me kind of bouncing around. I wanted to make sure to tell our listeners about Snack Fest, which is coming up. So that is all local makers like myself getting together for a night full of snacking and dancing. So that is
and that's where you can get in the giant ramen bowl, isn't it?
Yeah, they have all kinds of very fun photo ops. So there's a giant ramen bowl. There's a giant caviar ball pit with black caviar balls. That's my daughter's favorite. All kinds of fun things. And lots of vendors selling food and lots of DJs and dancing. So if people want to attend that, that's this weekend, Friday and Saturday. And Sarah, you're getting ready for the fancy food show.
Yep, getting ready for the fancy food show. The Regional Food Business Center will have 9 companies there, and the Food Innovation Center is going to have 9 companies there. It'll be great fun.
Epic.
Some of our previous guests will be there. Elsie Denville is finally making her debut in New York City. It's pretty exciting to have her joining us.
Fun.
Sarah, I saw that you're making fermented leek-scape tofu dip. Come on, Sarah.
I am.
What is that?
Does it sound too weird for you? I can hear it in your voice.
1, 2, 3, 4 ingredients?
No, there's lots of ingredients. So the fermented...
I saw you with your big knife. You're like chopping away. Like
I know.
Made a video about it.
I made a video. People can look at my Instagram and see my reels. Yeah, so I like to do market items of stuff that I don't sell in stores and that people can't really get. And really, it's a way to utilize the things in my garden and that I'm growing. So I can't really do them on a big scale, but I can do them a little bit. So I fermented leek-scapes from the garden, and then I used Oda Tofu. They're a local tofu company here in town.
Yeah.
And I was in a class with them, so I'd always wanted to do this project, but I just didn't really get around to it. So, and then it has our bird's eye basil hot sauce. It has nutritional yeast. It has mustard that I make, but it's really just like a dip that I make for my family for like going on picnics. It's kind of like for dipping, crudité, for dipping veggies in or putting on sandwiches.
Nice.
But it's just a really nice little snacking dip and a way for me to use.
Yeah. And also, I bet many of you don't know that Sarah Marhall is in Williams-Sonoma. So she had a big event there.
I did. Yeah. Williams-Sonoma sells our gift packs, and I went and did an event with them this weekend, which was very fun. They have a store that's newer to our city. They used to be up on 23rd, and they moved down to the Pearl District. So we were kind of going there to help spread the word about that big, beautiful store they just opened.
Are they where that other kitchen place was? Or
they are right by Whole Foods. In between like Whole Foods and Anthropology on that
across the street there. From Powell's bookstore.
Yeah, totally.
On the corner.
Yeah, kind of like the fun Northwest side that people come to when they're touring Portland.
Okay, yeah. So people can order your stuff on their website too. It's always good to like get velocity on the places where you're selling through. That's a great trick I learned a long time ago. So if you're getting featured somewhere, send all your friends and relatives to buy from that place so that you have velocity.
Yeah, for sure. And we've had a very long, successful relationship with Williams-Sonoma. It was one of our first big wholesale accounts, and we've been in there for years and years. So whenever they ask me to do something, I definitely come do it. And that is my advice to other vendors. If you have really good accounts and they ask you to do something, just say yes.
Go for it.
Yeah. Well, we have been partnering with the Regional Food Business Center to bring you guests from our 5-state region. We're currently meeting with business owners from the great state of Colorado. We would like to welcome our co-host, Mike Gabel from Colorado State University's Food Innovation Center. Hi, Mike.
Sarah, it's good to be back with you.
It's great to have you. We
Yeah.
we only have a couple shows left after this one, which I
know,
feel like
Mm.
I just want to live in Colorado forever. I
We're
love
going to be
this
like friends. We're going to
vibe.
be syndicated. We're going to have to just like have it be listened to over and over and over again.
I hope so. And I'm so excited to meet you in person. I didn't realize that the three of us, we've been recording together now for a while, but we're all going to be at the Fancy Food Show together in New York. So it'll be the first time we are united in real life.
Maybe we can all watch Kristen Kitsch talk together. She's going to be speaking there. I think a fireside chat one of the days. We'll have to swing by there and meet up.
Oh, super fun.
That sounds
Looking
fun.
forward to it.
Yeah. Well, if you want to connect with your state, you can sign up for the Regional Food Business Center newsletter at Northwest Rocky Mountain Regional Food Business Center.com. So make sure to do that so you can meet whoever in your area is like the Sarah and Mike of where you are. You can figure that out there.
Yep.
We want to thank our sponsor for supporting Masoni Marshall. Thank you for helping us to spread the word about entrepreneurs. Let's hear a word from our sponsor. The Northwest and Rocky Mountain Regional Food Business Center is the proud sponsor of the Meaningful Marketplace podcast, giving a voice to food from across the 6-state region of Colorado, Idaho, Montana, Oregon, Washington, and Wyoming. The Food Business Center supports Northwest and Rocky Mountain food industry makers as part of the USDA's National Network of Food Business Centers, supporting a more resilient, diverse, and competitive food system as a go-to source for small and mid-tier food and farm businesses with a focus on underserved communities, providing education in the form of technical knowledge, business programs, and industry news. We sponsor trade shows, meetups, and conferences to connect growers, producers, retailers, distributors, and processors, all to stimulate business and raise the standards of our storied food industry. Join us as we travel through the 6-state region, learning more about food makers, food hubs, and food systems. Visit the website at Northwest Rocky Mountain Regional Food Businesses.com to get connected. And I would like to introduce our guest today. I would like to introduce you to Rachna Rawat. She is the Inspiration Officer for Hanuman Chai. Welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
I'm so glad to have you here. So you make chai blends out of Boulder, Colorado.
Yes.
And we always like to make sure that our listeners can find you online and on Instagram. So what's the best way for them to connect with you through social media?
That's great. We have a website called drinkhanuman.com. We have an Instagram page. We try to be regular posting on Instagram, but sometimes we are a little bit behind. It's at Hanuman Chai. And Facebook is Drink Hanuman.
Perfect. And I introduced you as an inspiration officer, which is the first time I've introduced anyone as that. Can you explain a little bit about what your role is in your business?
So I don't want to make it very complicated, but there is this big story behind it that I grew up in a multi-generation family in Delhi, India. Delhi being a big state and the capital of India, a lot of hustle bustle, and a big family where we were 9 kids growing up together with cousins and siblings together. And as kids, we were given chai, but it was always caffeine free. It was a combination of different herbs and spices. And we were always given as a warm brew, and the brew changed by the seasons. The spices changed by the seasons to balance the body. And those memories with me sitting down around the dining table where we laughed, we giggled, we were disciplined. Sometimes tears were coming out. And with those memories, I started my family in Southern California. And the chai became a part of our home where our neighbors became friends. And when kids came along, the teachers became our great inspiration because the education that our kids got was unbelievable. And moved to Boulder, Colorado almost 21 years ago. Kids went to middle school, and every winter I took a warm carafe of chai for them just as a token of gratitude. And every Friday, which was my ritual, they put it on their lounge board that today the chai will be coming from Mrs. Rawat, and the teachers came running with the cups in their hand to have the chai. Some of the teachers loved the brew, and they said, Mrs. Rawat, you should launch a business with the chai. And I always said, that is not, you cannot have your culture as a business. So I always ignored it. But about 12 years ago, I was coming down the ski slopes in Colorado. If you don't ski, then you're not a Coloradan. So I was coming down the ski slopes and I hurt my back badly. I was given a lot of pain numbing medications and the recovery was very, very slow. And those medications were fogging my mind. One day I opened my kitchen cabinet and I was very surprised that what my great grandmother did when kids were growing up, somebody got hurt, somebody had something else, or giving some energy boost. So everything was in my kitchen cabinet. It is based on Ayurveda. Ayurveda is documented in the scripts going back thousands of years ago. It is a holistic approach for balancing your body. So that's the knowledge I got while growing up. And when I started putting together those herbs and spices in a very balanced, very complementary way. And slowly, I was healing myself. In about 3 months, I was back to normal, walking normally. It was a surprise to me. My kids were at that time coming back for summer break from college, and they were surprised to see me heal. Though in our family, Ayurveda was practiced, but they never took it for granted. They never thought that this could be something magical. When they looked at me, they said, Mom, this is unbelievable. And the conversations, what happened in the middle school with the teachers, that we should bring this chai to the market, was all coming together to them. And they said, we would love, but like you to, bring this product to the market as an educator, educating people. What are the benefits of the herbs, the spices that we put together as a drink, can be used in baking and cooking, so that we all need healing in different forms. And that's when this company was founded. And I am always called the inspiration, the educator. That's what my role is.
Can you tell us, what does Ayurvedic mean? I read about it on your website.
Ayurveda is a Sanskrit word. It is a combination of two words, Ayur, Veda. Ayur is life, Veda is knowledge. So the knowledge of life through food, through practices, through yoga, putting together everything so that our body is balanced in a very holistic way.
I had never heard that term before until I saw it on your site, and I just feel like it's such a beautiful idea and way of living and way to be. And I'm surprised that it's not a more common term that we hear. Do people usually know what it is when you tell them about it?
Some people who have, nowadays yoga is becoming very popular, and those people who know yoga, most of them know Ayurveda. These are two sisters that come together. Yoga is more physical and Ayurveda is more internal.
So on your website, we have the term dosha.
Yes. Dosha
There-
is,
Yeah, wait one second. Sarah Marshall, there's a salon in Portland called Dosha, and they sell Ayurveda products.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Will
So tell
you?
us about dosha.
every human body is a unique body. What Sarah feels will be different than what Mike feels. And what Sarah feels in the morning is different than what she feels at night. Maybe the next day. Maybe a week ago she was different and today I'm different. Today I feel, for example, I feel like having a cup of coffee today with a bagel. But no. Mike says, I want to have a cold latte with a croissant maybe, or something else. So everybody is unique. And with the uniqueness, Ayurveda has divided this into 3 categories. And that is based on doshas. Doshas is the uniqueness of a person.
That makes sense that the salon would be called that, Sarah, because they're like going off of people's unique things. It's kind of like I feel like this is going to be one of those moments where I've probably been surrounded by this idea and this word for a while, but I won't have noticed it until you
got
just
it
taught
today.
me about it today. So thank you for teaching me something new.
That's right.
And now I will notice more, I'm sure. I always like our listeners to understand what it's like to experience your product. So when they receive your chai, can you walk us through what it would feel like to make it and enjoy it?
This is very interesting because nowadays chai is available everywhere. And chai is a big social drink in India also. Every household by the region will have their own recipe. In India, the true chai changes by region to region, north to south, east to west, because of the weather, because of the availability of the herbs and spices. Originally, chai never had caffeine. It was always an herbal brew. The way yogis had it, the yoga and the yogis, they for optimal living. The black tea was added to the herbal brew with the British culture. And the addition of the black tea is called chai. Without the black tea, the original form is called karha. Like you drive a car and enjoy it, so it's karha, pronounced that way. So with our products, we have kept the original way of the chai, the herbal brew, which is also blended in 4 different varieties: a warming, a cooling, invigorating, and energizing. Because these are different blends that suit different body types, different regions, and how a person feels at a particular season. So you can say that these are based on seasons, regions, and the person's how the physical body is. So karha is one variety, the herbal. Anybody can have it morning, evening, or daytime, can be used in baking and cooking. Little kids can have it because there is no caffeine. The caffeinated version, we have kept it in 2 ways. It's a loose kit that somebody says, hey, I want to make the chai the way I want to have it. More caffeinated, less caffeinated, don't want caffeine today, but tomorrow I want to add caffeine, so it's already there in that pack. It's loose. The other one is the most convenient way are our tea sacks. I am on the go. I just want tea sacks, convenient. I don't have time to measure. So take a bag, put it in hot water, ready to go.
We have to take a break. When we come back, I'm sure we'll have more questions for you. Oregon State University's College of Agricultural Sciences and the Food Innovation Center are proud sponsors of Meaningful Marketplace. With a mission to serve all Oregonians, we are committed to giving voice to those whose food and agricultural stories are not always heard. By providing access and opportunity for a more diverse and just food system, because food brings people together. We're back. Okay, so a lot of times when I have chai at a coffee shop, they add some kind of milk to it. What is your recommendation for fixing a cup of nice warm chai?
So again, if you're having kadha, the herbal brew, it's your choice to have milk in that or sweetener in that or no. Normally, people do not add anything because it is caffeine free. Milk is added when there is caffeine in the chai, just to take away the bitterness of that black tea. So they add milk to it. And all the cafes, they have chai because that is the most convenient way people have learned, and it's available.
Do you feel like there's a blend that tells your story best?
I would say the kadha. That's the way we grew up. And nowadays, in very traditional households in India, they don't give caffeine to kids. So kadha is most commonly used. It can be used in baking, like we make commonly chocolate chip cookies and we add a little kadha. We have our oatmeal in the morning, we add a little kadha. Or if I'm making a curry, I add a little kadha to it.
That sounds fun. It sounds like it can be used in so many applications. I just want to experiment with it now.
It is fun. It is fun.
And then across the different blends, Rachna, is the cooling blend versus the energizing. So is it a different type of leaf, or is it the spices? Or you said even sourcing might be different too?
So it's the different combination of complementary herbs and spices. Okay. So the cooling blend is not that it will make you cold. It is cooling your digestive system. Where we have issues with normally, sometimes we do have issues with the digestive. Somebody has a weak system. So the cooling blend is helping your gut, cooling it down. And also when the weather is too hot, enjoy the cooling blend. It will cool your body down even if you drink it hot.
What are some of the ingredients in there in the cooling blend?
The major ingredient is cardamom. It is complemented with tulsi, which is a holy basil that boosts immune system. And wow. It has amla. Amla is an Indian gooseberry that is rich in vitamin C. And cardamom by itself is great for digestion. So every blend has a unique featuring ingredient in there. Like as Mike picked up, the cooling blend has featuring more cardamom. The energizing blend is featuring more saffron because saffron helps with circulation in the body, and we suggest consume it during the fall time or any time of the day or any time of the year, but that's the main purpose. The invigorating blend has more tulsi. Tulsi is holy basil, boosting your immune system when there's a lot of allergies in the air. When the seasons are changing, the invigorating blend is complementing that. Lastly, the warming blend has more turmeric in there. Turmeric is a root, it creates heat in the body. So when people who have a little bit weaker circulation or they always feel cold, wintertime, that's the blend to go for. That's our suggestion.
That's fascinating. And how did you develop all these different recipes or blends? Is it something that came from, historic things that, as you were growing up, or were they just kind of trial and error for a lot of these different recipes?
Yes, Mike. The recipes are my great-grandmother's recipes that has been passed down in generations. She learned from her mother and somewhere. So these are all passed down in the families.
Fascinating. And then you were talking about that your kids are still part of the business too, right?
Yes, they are.
And so what kind of roles do they play across, Hanuman tea?
They check on their mother. That mom.
That's an important role.
How many people did you connect today with? How many people came back and said, hey, thank you for sharing with us? And honestly, there are many people who put their hand on my shoulder and they say, thank you for bringing this product. It has helped us in such and such way. Or we create chai time with our families, because for us, this is very such a thing that you can bring people together and laugh at it. You sit down with a cup of chai, you're laughing, you're giggling, you're sharing your stories. and enjoying the moment.
I think that's such a beautiful part of what you've created for other people to enjoy because it was such for you, such a part of your family. And now you can share that with other people and they can hopefully build those rituals into their lives as well. Because I imagine that in Boulder, Colorado, not everyone sits down and has chai service with their family, but now they'll take the time to do that because you brought this product to market. So it's really a beautiful thing that you've created.
So I have a question. I'm on your website and I'm ordering the cooling bundle. It has 3 packages in it. Can you tell me what those are? So if people go on and they want to order a bundle, what would that be?
So the cooling bundle will have a box of kadha, the original way, the caffeine free. It will, and then there will be a chai kit, which is a loose bag of spices separately, bulk spices and bulk organic long leaf black tea. And lastly, the third one will be the convenient tea bags on the go. So they are together. So sometimes you say, hey, I just want to enjoy kadha as I shared. So kadha is there. You try it and see how it works. Chai kit. I want to add black tea, but I do not know where the tea is in my pantry. I do not know. So it's in the bag there. Convenient for you. And I'm on the go, which I usually do when I am on the go on the road trips. I take my tea bags with me and they are convenient for travel.
That's great. Thank you.
That'll be perfect, Sarah. You can pack them in your suitcase for New York.
Oh, no. I was wondering, are you going to be at the Fancy Food Show? I saw pictures on your Instagram that you attended the Fancy Food Show.
This was our debut in the winter one. And we are taking a break from the summer.
Okay.
But hopefully we will be there again for the winter show.
And we saw you look like you were having fun, all the people that you had photographs with. So that's great. We have to convince Mike to have a booth at the Fancy Food Show so he can bring people like you with him.
It'll happen eventually, Sarah. We're getting there.
Now
we don't have 20 plus years of experience like Oregon State, but we'll get there. And Rachna will be number 1 on that list.
She'll help you.
Thank you.
Well, I saw a pretty exciting thing that happened for you, which was to have the LA Times crossword feature your tea. Is that correct?
They featured the kadha.
Mm-hmm.
For us, we still believe in kadha because that is the root of the chai. That is the soul of the chai. Without kadha, without the spices, how can you make chai?
Yeah.
And then, so talk about just, we were talking about Colorado and especially Boulder as kind of this hotbed of, entrepreneurs, of, being in that natural food kind of mecca. And did that have any influence on you as you started to think about, launching a chai brand? Was there a network or infrastructure there that really kind of supported you as an entrepreneur in this space?
Yes, there was a network at that time. Things have changed and evolved. And it was basically with my chai going to the yoga studios, to the events, local events. And from there, with the word of mouth, it spread. And that's what we got connected and took off.
That's great. And so where are most of your sales coming from nowadays, Rachna?
It's about 50-50, I would say, in stores. So Whole Foods Market was our first main opening outlet. Then the natural grocers in Boulder, in Colorado, or I would say Boulder, Colorado started that. And slowly it moved on to other stores. But we have tried to keep it more into the region in stores front. But because of the website and online, the product is going way beyond around the world, I would say. So we get orders from New Zealand or from Japan or from Germany because people travel to Colorado And once they taste it, they want to get it.
That's
And
wonderful that you ship everywhere too.
We
the
do our
kaha is the
best.
main product you're selling to like Whole Foods and to natural grocers.
Kadha is also sold there, but people, if they do not know what it is, it's a little bit hard for them to buy. They understand the word chai, so chai goes more. But when
Sure.
we are talking to people, like for example, in demos or in events, then our kadha goes the most. People don't want to have chai; they just want to have kadha because they have understood the story behind it, the authenticity behind it.
Right. Talk to us about how you scaled. I imagine this was something that, over time with the increased demand, how was that journey for you?
A rocky journey, a
It
rocky
always
journey,
is.
and it is still in progress. It's not done yet. So we take it that this is a journey, enjoy it, cry over it, go for it.
I think that's good motivation and advice. The crying will probably happen, but then over it and moving on is like the piece that will sometimes get people stuck. So you just have to feel all the feelings and then figure out what you're going to do from
Yes.
there. Well, I noticed that you have organic certification, and I was wondering for any of our listeners out there, is that hard to do, or is it hard to source organic spices for your tea, or have you found that process to be manageable?
In the beginning, it was a challenge finding the good quality spices, which we always wanted it to be the best quality, and how to source it. We had to keep the cost within the limits also. So it was a challenge in the beginning. Then slowly we have a few suppliers and we trust them. So now it has become a little bit easier. But definitely, if the quality is not at par, especially for the cardamom, which is the most expensive spice, other than saffron, if it is not the best, we don't take it. It goes back. So we check every ingredient up to the best quality.
Isn't saffron one of the most like faked spices out there? No,
Expensive
Yes.
too.
well, because it is so expensive. So I had heard that one time. I think at a food convention, someone was talking about that even just as people trying to buy wholesale, that people will sometimes pretend like it's saffron, even though it's not really.
Yes, it is again very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I have heard that about 100, it's all hand-picked
Yeah.
and labor intensive. That's what makes it very expensive. 150,000 little pestles from the flower, crocus flower, hand-picked together makes 1 pound of saffron.
That's
Incredible.
that's an intense harvesting process, I'm sure.
And saffron, because of the cost, people don't consume it. But
Mhm.
saffron is so wonderful for your circulation, for your mood, and you don't have to take a whole lot. Even a little bit goes a long ways.
Are there any saffron farms in Colorado?
Not in Colorado that I'm aware of,
Yeah, we
but
only have one in our area, and he just started, I would say, in the last like 10 years. So pretty small scale, mostly just sells what they pick at market. Like they wouldn't be able to supply a tea company like you. But I was wondering if there was anyone in your area that has thought about starting a saffron farm. I think it would be one of the hardest farms to have.
Yeah, I don't think that's good advice, Sarah Marshall, but I'm not
I'm
sure.
not telling someone to start it. I'm just wondering if they have.
Mhm.
and then we have to go with the organic, that it
Yeah.
has to be certified organic. And having a product certified organic also incurs cost.
Yeah.
So many people may have the saffron farm here, but is it organic? We do not know.
Yeah.
Good question.
Well, another thing that came to my mind was, within your business, within kind of the growth that you've had, have you seen kind of changes to like packaging or logo or different things? What's kind of been the biggest evolution that you've had over the course? You kind of came in with the recipes. And so, I'm sure there's manufacturing changes. There's a lot of different changes. What was the hardest thing that you had to overcome over in that course of, these many years you've been in business?
Mike, that's a wonderful question. And because this is a family-owned business, it is hard to be in the family. So, as you know, the word Hanuman, people ask, what is Hanuman? So, Hanuman is a mythological figure. Just like there are many Greek gods and goddesses, in India, there are many gods and goddesses for different reasons. Sure. And Hanuman is believed for strength, courage, perseverance, and devotion. Every morning, billions of people wake up and they hail for Hanuman, ask for strength to make the day happen in the most devoted form. And this ritual happened to be in our family. And when we were picking up the name for the company, which should be more authentic, which should be more connecting to our culture, the word Hanuman came up. And the image, the logo was like, what should we have the logo of Hanuman so people can understand here, also bring the story, the emphasis of what the Hanuman is about. So that was a big challenge. We are fortunate that we have a wonderful graphic artist whom we had many sessions to make him understand what is this figure for. And in the beginning, our logo was very, you can say, traditional or the way it is in India, but people did not understand here. So it took us a while to evolve that into the logo what we have right now. And I think in any business, a small business, evolution has to be there, which is manageable, kind of manageable.
It says you've sold over 4 million cups of tea on your website. That's a lot of tea.
My job is, I have to keep my job to educate people. So when I'm educating people.
That means you've sold almost 250,000 boxes of tea. That's amazing.
Yeah, great job.
Thank you.
Well, it's been so wonderful to talk to you today. And I think that you really, when you talk about what Hanuman is, and I really feel like you have all this wonderful courage and devotion yourself that you're putting into your business. So It's been really lovely to hear about it and to see. And I just think that all the decisions that you're making sound really great, choosing organic practices and then just experience, like gifting this experience to other people is so wonderful. So I just want to thank you for everything that you're doing for your community.
Yep. And I'm going to heal myself with a blue box.
I'm sure that you will enjoy it.
Well, I have your email address, so I'll send you a note if I have any questions.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for joining us today. It was wonderful to meet you and hear about your story.
It was a pleasure and delight, and thank you for having me share my story with many others.
And let's tell people one more time how they could order the product from you directly.
So we have an online store. They can order directly from that. It is available on Amazon. They can order through that. And for wholesalers, there is another portal called Fair. We are there. So there are a few ways or the people send emails and we work through that too.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. We record Masoni and Marshall live every week. You can find us on your favorite podcast platforms. Thank you to our audio engineer and our production assistant, Chelsea. If you'd like to be a guest on a show, you can send us a DM on our Instagram, Masoni and Marshall, and we will be back next week. Thanks for joining, everybody. Bye.
Bye for now.
You're listening to the Startup Radio Network. Listen, learn, launch. 10% of our gross revenue goes directly to women entrepreneurs in developing countries around the world through Kiva's microfinance program.